Hey fam, what's going on? It's your boy, Timothy, Tim, TJ, however you know me, and the lovely Alicia, my wife. Welcome to the Nesmith channel. We're glad that you came back. And today, we're gonna be getting into part two, say it with me, part two of this beautiful conversation that we've been having about love, marriage, miscarriage, pregnancy, all of the things, right? But before we go into all of that, make sure you hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you haven't watched part one of this video, you can click up here and watch it. You're gonna wanna watch it because you might hear some of the stuff we're gonna talk about and we ain't going over everything. And you're gonna be like, what does they talk about? Watch the first video and you'll see. Follow instructions. All right.
Okay, so like you said in our last video, we kind of touched on our first pregnancy and everything like that, and just how everything went. And in this video, part two, we are going to be talking about our new little bundle of joy that we are expecting later this year, and just how we felt when we found out we were pregnant, and just how things are going and how excited we are.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, just to kind of start off, of course, this is our part two, so they are kind of tied together as far as how we felt when we first found out we were pregnant. And just for myself, at the start of our pregnancy, this go around, I kind of knew what to expect as far as like symptoms and feelings and hormones and everything. And so when my body started changing, like I could tell until my body started changing, of course. I started having symptoms of pregnancy and it really freaked me out. Just because we had the miscarriage. I believe we found out this time in like February, March of this year. And we had just had the miscarriage maybe like 4 months before.
In September.
Yeah. And it finally had passed in October, and everything. And so it was like really soon for us to be pregnant again. And
what can I say?
I didn't really expect us to be pregnant so soon, after the first miscarriage or whatever. So feeling those symptoms and everything, it was like really freaking me out. And I was kind of stressed. I was really worried, I think, in the beginning. The first pregnancy definitely pushed me more to talk about my feelings, talk about feelings as in like physical feelings, like so the symptoms and everything, it pushed me to talk about it, and then also emotional. So whenever I had any feelings, I kind of went to Tim and I was like, so this is what I'm feeling here, this is what I'm feeling there, this is how I'm feeling emotionally, this is what's going on with my body, and I'm really scared, and just kind of expressing that. And I think we did a good job at just kind of covering each other, and just, I guess preparing ourselves for the possibility of those symptoms meaning that we were pregnant again. I was very scared to take a pregnancy test to see it be positive. And so that's kind of how the miscarriage affected me finding out. But I eventually did take a pregnancy test and it was positive, and my anxiety kind of shot up, but it was what it was. And so then I told him, of course, the same day that I found out. I didn't have no big plans this time. I didn't, I wasn't trying to surprise him or anything, because I was just really worried and, frightened and everything like that. And so, like, how did you feel when I told you? Or
So to be quite honest with you, I feel like we kind of remember this situation a little different. So, given my backstory, like along with her, so like just as much as everything kind of was going for her, I think one of the things walking into or even thinking about another pregnancy, like I think there was a lot of numbness there still for me, and a lot of like unworked feelings, like not really, either unworked and maybe like just feelings like just not knowing how to feel, right? Like, so then I don't even know if I remember exactly how she told me that she was pregnant again, but I think I just remember like having that kind of a numb kind of a feeling, because it's like, I don't, like there's that part of me is like, do I get my hopes up? You know, how do I respond? It is soon, wasn't expecting to be pregnant again this soon. How does she feel about it? Because like as much as it was to, you know, figure out that we lost our baby, and then to have to go through the whole thing with passing, like that alone was very traumatic, right? So it's like, how do I even try to expect her to be happy about this thing? So I think I was walking into the situation, I think happy at the fact that there was life again, but like very much feeling like, what do I don't know what to do with any of this. Like I don't know what to do. Like I'm not afraid, because like I said in the last video, I got myself to a place, well, God helped me get to a place of like relief and kind of feeling okay with it. So I think that those initial feelings of worry and fear, they weren't there as much as it was just like, I feel like we're just in the middle parts maybe of getting through this miscarriage and figuring out kind of regular life again. We had just celebrated our first year of marriage. So it's like, really in a different way this time, it's like having a baby was one of the farthest things away from my head. Like I wasn't expecting it. I won't say it's one of the farthest, but it was like definitely not the next thing that I was expecting to come up. So when you told me, I'm sure, like I said, I don't quite remember the exact moment, because like it wasn't a huge big thing this time, but it was definitely the feelings of like, okay, like I don't know, almost like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like, it is what it is. Like I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and so I think when I did tell him, I wasn't even I don't think I was even expecting a reaction. Of course I was like, what are you thinking? And that kind of thing. And even in that moment, it was just like we gotta take it one day at a time type of thing, I think, for both of us. I was more so terrified that it would be another miscarriage. And I was worried about, if I ate something wrong, or, because I kind of talked about it in our first video, like, even though everybody was telling me it wasn't my fault, in the back of my head, I'm like, is there anything I could have done differently, to make it so that the baby could have survived? But this time, slowly but surely, I think with the help of God, with the help of Tim, we kept this to ourselves for a very long time. Like, I think the first time we shared kind of early, when we found out, and this time I think we kept it to ourselves for a good, like,
we were like 4
months. Yeah. We just kind of went through it together, just the two of us and God, and definitely stayed prayed up, try to stay faithful in the sense of just having faith that, it would be a full-term pregnancy, or, it will be a full-term pregnancy and everything. So I think now, where is your mindset now, I guess, for the pregnancy, or, or how between when we found out and now, how did your emotions or feelings, or how did that grow or change?
Let's see. So for me, my feelings have definitely come along. So like I said in the beginning, really not sure. As time went on and as we got farther along, like I think there's that period where, at least scientifically or biologically, however you want to see it, that like you're more
Likely to go full
yeah,
term.
you're more likely to go full term.
That's like the 12-week mark.
Right. So like once we got to that mark, I think that was kind of a big mark, at least in the back of my head. Because of course you still have faith. And at the same time, very real, I'm still worried because I'm like, I'm afraid to get my hopes up too high because last time I did that, I got hurt.
Yeah.
So, but as we kind of got to that mark and things were going along, everything was still good. I think it definitely got easier to be more excited and to start to really become, like, allow my feelings to kind of be open again. Like to open myself up and be vulnerable with it again, if that makes sense. Like to allow myself to be excited, to allow myself to be curious, to allow myself to do all these things.
Yeah.
It was a process. Honestly, it was a process for me. I think even after, like, it was a nice kind of a hump to be able to tell our parents and friends and stuff like that. Because like you said, we held it for 4 months. So it's like just kind of sitting on that, not really knowing what to do with it, not wanting to talk to somebody about it too early. Like just really just like in this state of like, I just don't want it to be what it was last time.
Exactly.
But, you know, fast forward, you know, we start getting, you know, like maybe to month, maybe I'll say like 5. I say that like 5 for me, I think, kind of, because we're in 7 now, so 5 for me I think was kind of where I think I've been probably the most open since then, just because, again, like being able to see, especially being able to see the physical changes in her. And it's like, again, not that the pregnancy wasn't real before, but it's like you get to see it. This is my first time, you know, seeing my wife pregnant, right? So it's like, or I've seen, like, actually seen the physical results of her being pregnant and stuff like that. And so that, you know, that's different. You know, we planning a baby shower, not a baby shower, gender reveal, like that's different. Thinking about what would it be like if I had a girl? What would it be like if I had a boy? Like even that, I was like, I'll just take whatever. I just want a baby. I don't care if it's a girl. I don't care if it's a boy. I just want a baby. That's my only request. So, like as time has gone on, it's definitely gotten easier to be more open with my feelings. Not just in the sharing, but literally just allowing myself to feel feelings. To like not being in this state of, I don't know, you know, just kind of real unsure. It's been easy to be open, and then especially now, like knowing what we're gonna have. We're in month 7. You know, they've been planning like the baby shower. Like we're getting these different milestones to where it's just like, okay, all right, you know, like we're about to be here. So I'm excited. And then especially the fact that we're having a boy, like, you know, I finally got somebody I can fight with, like, and they're not gonna cry every time they get hurt, or if they do, I can trick them into thinking that they're not hurt, you know. So like, it's a win for me. It's a win for me. You know, I'm definitely I'm trying to embrace being a dad. I've always wanted to be a dad, so that's not something I don't think I was ever afraid of fatherhood or parenthood. For me, it's just always been like, I want to be the best I can be. I'm a perfectionist in that way, and I know that doesn't work. But like, I want to make sure everything is provided. I want to make sure I got enough of this, enough of that, enough of this, enough of that. And like, there is no perfect way to parent, is what I'm learning, even before the child is here. So it's been a lot of me like being able to accept, you know what, I might not do this the perfect way. I might not have the best plan for this. I might not be as prepared as I want to be for this, but what I'm going to do is trust God, and I'm going to learn. That's the thing. I've never been a parent before, so I have room to learn. I'm not expected to be perfect. So I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more excited. And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing my little man. So, after my long rant, how do you feel now, from then to now, like finding out to now?
So I think for a long time, for me, it was really hard to come out of fear, honestly. Just because it was so traumatic, like all of the pain. I have very low pain tolerance. And just that experience, it took a long time for me to really accept that, or really trust that we would go full term, or a lot longer than the first time. I think around like month 5, kind of maybe like the end of month 5, the beginning of month 6, is the point where I wasn't like every little pain I wanted to go to the hospital for, or every little pain I wanted to call the doctor for, or something like that. Like, because you'll feel things that apparently is normal. Whenever, for ladies, whenever you get pregnant, there will be things that are like, they don't feel good, but it's normal because, the baby's growing, your body's changing, your body's expanding, and all that kind of stuff. And so every little pain, I was like,
something wrong. We need to go to the hospital.
This ain't normal.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning, but I need to go to the ER right now.
Seriously.
It's 3 o'clock and I feel pain. I feel pain. Ow. We need to go to the hospital.
Shut up.
Right now in this moment at 3:50 in the morning. That's a.m. in the morning. Tim, wake up. Wake up. My finger hurts.
Okay.
This never happened before. I need to go to the ER.
Anyway, so.
Only emergency rooms. No, I know I have a doctor's appointment in 2 days, but I need to go to the emergency room now.
Right now. But see, so that's serious, guys. That was literally how I was. And that was crippling. That was fear, honestly, crippling. I had crippling fear. And so I literally had to go to the doctor for everything. But, of course, eventually when I started seeing the same, like kind of with Tim, like as I started like seeing the changes and even feeling more movement, of course that's different now. It just was like, okay, you got to settle down, because one, this is borderline stress, and stress is one of the things that can cause miscarriages. Stress is one of the things that can just make you unhealthy, just in general, even if you're not pregnant. So, like, all of this stressing that you're doing is not good for the baby, not good for stuff. And so that was even a battle in myself, honestly. There would be nights where I would be up and I'm like, I really feel like something's wrong, but I don't want to worry, I don't want to stress, because then something will be wrong, so it was like a battle within myself. But eventually, I definitely am now 7 months, we're 7 months, now I'm like, oh, something hurts, okay, let's take it, and then let's go to sleep. I have an appointment, in 2 or 3 days, we'll bring it up at the appointment.
I think this process has taught like her, and then especially me being the bystander, just kind of watching. It's like okay, when you feel these things, make a note of these things. Also check for other things. Like we found out, okay, you're feeling pain in your stomach. That could be stretching. It could be related. Are you dehydrated? Ligament pain. Are you dehydrated? You have shortness of breath. Like we found out that was connected to like hydration and fluids and stuff like that. So, I mean,
listen, one thing we have learned: water fixes everything.
Yes.
Apparently,
y'all look. You gotta stay hydrated. If you didn't know that for yourself before pregnancy, do it 100 times 100 when you get pregnant. You gotta stay hydrated.
So a lot of times. The things that I would feel, would be like really normal stuff. And so now I'm at the point where I can be like, okay, this is a really bad pain. Maybe I have I drank water today? Like, how much water have I drank today? What did I eat today? That kind of thing. Just kind of reflecting over what I did, and not to say that anything is my fault, but to see if there's a way to fix the problem without going to the emergency room.
Right.
Yeah, and so even going forward, it's been an awesome feeling. It's been an awesome feeling to feel him move and everything like that. it's so funny now. Like any little small movement, I'll grab Tim and I'm like, feel here, you know?
I feel it.
Here.
Oh yeah, that was a strong one, babe. Mm-hmm.
And like he's like feeling nothing, and I'm like, did you feel that one?
I be
Did you
feeling
feel
some
that
of them.
one?
I be
Some
feeling
of
some
them,
of
yeah.
them. Cause some of in that joker, he be like ah. He be in there. He be in there.
And so like all of those movements and just like the different changes that I'm going through, of course, it definitely lessens the anxiety. I don't think I really get anxiety like that anymore. Sometimes I'll catch myself like, so we've been kind of in the stage where we're learning that the more I'm moving, the more still he is, or the stiller.
More still.
The more still he is. And so, and when I sit still, that's when he's like more active. So if throughout the day I'm moving around a lot, you know, and that kind of thing, and I kind of don't pay attention to whether or not I felt him move, then when I'm kind of sitting and I'm like, I haven't felt him move today, sometimes that'll be like, you know, it'll almost get me there. But I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, take a step back. What have you been doing today? So I just kind of sit, and then as I'm sitting, eventually he'll like climb his way up into my rib, put a foot up in my lung, you know, and I'm like, oh, well, hello, there you are.
But if he don't do it fast enough, best believe she over here like, wake up, you're not moving enough. I'm like,
I definitely do jiggle my stomach, not that hard. I don't be jiggling him that hard.
One time she over here pressing, trying to get him to push back.
I do nudge a little bit, but anywho, so yeah. So I think now we are definitely, you know, at a place where we're like, we're expecting a little boy in November.
In the home stretch,
You know, we're in the 3rd trimester, 29 weeks. We got 11 weeks to go. So now we're just, like he said, in the home stretch. We're so excited. We're super blessed. We're super thankful for our journey, where we've come from, where we are. And we're just excited. He's like kicking me up a storm as we're sitting here. It always, you know, makes me feel good to feel him. And
good job, son.
Yeah, he's always like, I'm like, dang, he kicking me so hard. He's like, good job. Keep doing it. Keep growing. Keep, you know. And so I think we're now just like anticipating.
Yeah, just trying to be, you
trekking
know,
along.
right. Like I said before, like I've accepted that there is not going to be any perfect level of preparedness.
Yeah.
Or like, do I have enough of this, or do I know enough of this? Like, I don't know it all. I probably don't have enough of whatever, but I'm going to. Like, we're going to be able to be good parents. Not even just based off of ourselves, but like based off of like the ability that God has given us, like the support that He's given us in the form of family, friends. Like, like we have so much. And I know I'll say for myself, we have so much more than I think sometimes I give credit for in the midst of fear or anxiety or worry or whatever. Like, we have a lot, you know, like. So God has already blessed us with more than enough to be able to raise a child, you know, and for him to be, you know, a good kid. So I've accepted, like, you know what, it's learning. My parents have to learn with me. I'll have to learn with my child.
Yeah.
If he has a child, he'll have to learn. Like, it's a learning process. There's no one way to do it. But as long as we teach him God, everything else come from there, you know. Right. If he get a black eye every now and then because we've been jumping off the stairs, I'm learning.
Just stop.
I'm learning. Like, if we get cuts and bruises sometimes because we played football and two-hand touch turned into tackle, I'm learning. Like, you can't get mad at me because I'm learning. So I don't care what you say.
I cannot.
If we want to do cartwheels and backflips off the couch, I'm learning. Jeez.
So hopefully we learn in a more safe way.
Hey, there is no perfect way to parent.
But yeah, I'm super excited to learn how to parent as well. I feel like I know a good bit just from siblings having children and having a hand in that. And you know, just tinkering with other people's children. I do have a lot of experience with that, but you never know with your own. You know, you have your own rules, your own way of teaching,
Right.
your own way of learning, your own, you know, learning each other, and that kind of thing. I'm just ready for all the shenanigans that are going to be going on.
Yeah.
I pray our baby boy lasts as long as possible dealing with his father and all this.
He will.
Rambunctiousness.
He's gonna be a strong young man. He's gonna be a strong young man with a strong mind and a strong body.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, guys, so that is our part 2, our journey from, you know, the first pregnancy to this pregnancy, from, you know, sadness and hurt, but to joy, being blessed,
Right.
and happiness. We are so ecstatic to be having our little boy, like we've been saying.
Right.
And we hope you guys have enjoyed listening to our story, listening to our testimony. Please let us know if you have any questions about anything.
Right.
Anything that we've said. Make sure you check out our part 1. Again, it'll be linked right up here. So check out our part 1 just to hear that story as well.
Ready for this young king.
Yes, we're getting his nursery ready, so you guys will be able to see that transformation. My
Spend
office.
a whole 2 hours on a crib.
Really though, that crib took a minute to put together.
My bed didn't take that much to put together.
it didn't take that much, but it did take a minute. I think that was just like...
It took 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't that long for stuff like that. But again, my bed, full adult bed, didn't take that long to put together.
But also, an adult bed is like bigger pieces.
My point is...
The crib is like, there's a section of small pieces that you have to put together.
My point is, young king is living in luxury.
I cannot.
This got the crib with the changer next to it and already got a plethora of toys.
You guys will see his crib soon. But yeah, so again, we just thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys. Again, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. We do want to do a Q&A for you guys, for those who may have questions about pregnancy, about from a dad's perspective or a mom's perspective, you know, how my symptoms and attitudes and hormones and stuff affected him, as well as how they affected me and everything. Whatever you guys want to know, just let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share, and hit that subscribe button down there. Smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. So until next time, always remember, we love you, God loves you, you are loved. See you next week.
Bye.